Hello, hello, you beautiful soul. Ooh, I was sitting in some energy earlier, feeling into the collective, and I could tell that this was a huge collective message because my hands and my feet were sweating, and Spirit was showing me this collective that is on the verge of huge breakthroughs. Okay, this collective is so divinely anointed. Your bloodline. Spirit was just showing me all of these anointed souls, these powerful light beings coming into these families that are sacred, these bloodlines. Every single soul here, every single bloodline here is sacred. And I was seeing everybody going back to the original mama and visiting her, just the womb of creation, right? 111 is a look up. I've been seeing that a lot. You could be seeing this a lot, and that could serve as confirmation that you are in this moment. And what I felt was being pushed through by this collective was this, I was hearing punishment loop. I was hearing that the blind had been leading the blind throughout your bloodline. And this was an attack on your bloodline to keep their sacred wisdom, their anointing suppressed. And I was seeing a parasite that was entering into this bloodline. At some point, this parasite entered in through a wound. And Spirit was showing me that whoever this message is for, you have worked through this bloodline, through this. I don't have a word for it, but you know what I mean. Lifetime after lifetime, right? Your ancestors are you. You are your ancestors. There's no separation between you and them. You are giving yourself infinite opportunities to come back to source, right? And to remove any distortion, any parasitic entities or energies that have entered into this field, into this realm, and into your bloodline, right? So Spirit was showing me that this message is for a group of healers, of key holders, right? Key holders. And some of you knew from the womb, some of you have known from the time that you were born that you were high in spiritual ranking, is what I was just hearing. You held this knowing in your soul that you were to observe your experience. And while it is difficult to maintain that knowing sometimes when we're so heavily conditioned and programmed, it was always there, is what I was seeing, right? I'll share some of my experience. I remember being in the womb. I remember being and accessing the mother. I remember being the mother in my mom's womb, watching her be shamed and full of fear when she was pregnant with me, right? I remember this. Some of you guys remember these things. You can access this. And if anything, this is here to allow you space to open up to these remembrances. Right? You're remembering. And how far back are you remembering? You know that either from the womb, from childhood, or early adulthood, whenever at some point you remembered that you came here with such great unconditional love and compassion, but equally divine authority, spiritual authority, and you knew that you were here to reclaim, restore, rebuild this bloodline, right? And if you haven't already, and I'm sure you have already been pressing on this wound. This wound is the exact place where parasites can enter, right? And you're not doing it in a way of pressing on the people in your life, the people in your family. You know, you're doing it in the way of healing yourself, right? Pressing on your own wounds, taking accountability for the leakage within the sacred life force energy that flows through each and every bloodline here, right? But Spirit was showing me that all of us have been placed so specifically in these bloodlines so that we can recognize these wounds, see these wounds, call out these wounds, press on these wounds, allow the leak to stop, heal these wounds within ourselves, for our children moving forward, to set the example, to be the one that leads the way. You always knew that you were a leader. You always knew that you had it in you to show people what love looks like, what true compassion looks like. Spirit was showing me almost like this Lord of the Flies energy. I can relate to this. This was something I had to break in my family, was this punishment loop. And when it comes to children, we punish our children for having children when it was the children who started having children. It's all children raising children. It's a whole lot of children raising children and nobody there to take accountability until you came. You came with a spiritual authority and ability to hold accountability and know when and where to place it. You knew that this inner child wound, right, is what it is. All these babies raising babies, wounded babies raising babies, seeing children as a burden, seeing children as a chore and not the gift that they are. You were the gift in your family. You were the gift that somebody prayed for. Somebody prayed for you. Somebody knew that there was distortion in the family bloodline. Somebody knew that there was anointing in your bloodline. And somebody in your family prayed for you to come and to take this accountability. It's all about accountability and responsibility. And the people who raised you, the environment that you were raised in, was not modeled, taught how to be accountable. They were punished for being. Your ancestors were punished for existing. And you know what that feels like because you've carried it. And you knew when you came here that you were going to experience this. You've experienced it before. Spirit was just showing me the bloodlines being like roots. And all of these roots have just grown and extended from this tree, this family tree, this cosmic family tree that we all are, right? We're all a part of this cosmic family tree. And just as a tree has roots that grow into the ground, right? That's our bloodline. These roots carry ancient wisdom. They carry codes. And you carry that. And that's why it's been attacked. And that's why you came here. And Spirit saying that that's why you chose to take accountability, because on a spiritual level, you have the authority to do so. You understand on a spiritual level that these people were children. Not everybody that comes here is high in spiritual ranking. Some people come here to learn, and these people are still learning, right? They're still learning, and their soul may or may not figure it out in this lifetime. That's not your responsibility. Your responsibility was to come here and end the loop by taking accountability for oneself, stepping into your authenticity, stepping into your soul, aligning yourself with your authority. I love you. You're powerful, and you know this. And if for some reason you are in this loop of punishing yourself, I invite you to break that loop. I could feel it. I could feel it. I was trying to get my girls down for a nap and just really, whatever. It's wild trying to get 2, 3.5-year-olds for a nap. But throughout my experience as a mother, I've had 5 times the opportunity to feel within my own inner child experience. What triggers me the most in being a mother are the areas in which I experienced the most suffering, right? But instead of projecting this, inflicting this pain, this wound onto my children, I've chosen each time to feel deeper into how I can be better for not only myself or my children, but as a high-ranking soul in the spirit, to work within the collective to heal these traumas, right? I send love, Reiki, healing from these places to every child here, inner child, every soul, right? I sit here and I hold it and I'm like, whoever be willing to accept the love from the mother that they never experienced. 1, 2, 3, 4 as I look up. I pray that they can accept it now, right? This is a collective who was never coddled. You were kicked in the face, in the balls, feet out from under you your whole life, right? People try to teach you a lesson all the time. Life's tough. You better toughen up, buttercup, right? Well, who's there to coddle you? Nobody. But who's there to comfort you? Nobody. You had to do it yourself because it was in there, right? But there are times when we need a little bit of support, and I'm here to support you, and I'm here to tell you. And you go tell your friends, everybody, share this with whoever you need to know that there are people here that embody this love and are willing to sit within the collective field and heal these things. I've been there. I've been there. I've been there on so many levels. Do I understand what it is to end the punishment and choose to lead with compassion? I was getting so emotional. I am now, like, still, you guys. You're perfectly made. And there's no need to be punished for just existing, right? Like I said, your ancestors were punished for existing. They were made to feel guilty. 144. They were made to feel guilty for being here, made to feel like they were a burden. Why? Because they had power. Your family has power. I honor, I can barely speak. I honor you guys truly. You're so important and needed. And even if you can barely just be, and that's all you can be is just to be, then do that. And do it without fear. Do it without shame. Do it without guilt. Because you have a birthright. You have a right to be here. Everybody has a right to be here. You're so worthy and beautiful and needed, and I love you. Truly. I love you so much. I can't say it enough. I love you.